Welcome back to the channel. Today we're cutting tendons for the 8-horse Mogul skid, but first we're going to take a look at the engine itself. Enjoy the video. 8-horse International Portable Mogul. 34-inch flywheels, weighs about 2,600 pounds. I think it's what International says for a ship weight. Kind of poor lighting in here, but got the rest of the parts back at the house. So this is the engine that will go on the skid that we're building.
International Harvester made the Mogul line from 1910 to 1917. In 1918, the M Series replaced the Mogul line. The M Series was a lower cost engine introduced to compete with the Fairbanks Morris Z line. The pictured style engine was manufactured from 1914 to 1917. This style is a side shaft engine because of the shaft that was parallel to the cylinder. This shaft has several jobs. It drove the governor, valve cams, and ignition trip. Side shaft Moguls were throttle governed kerosene engines that had balanced flywheels for smooth, low vibration operation. Rated operating speed was 450 RPM, rather fast for the time. There was no oil in the closed crankcase. Lubrication was provided by a mechanical oiler. The rod bearing was oiled via a ring oiler. Side shaft Moguls were expensive, costing several times more than their competitor engines. Their smooth and quiet operations made them ideal for power generation and powering other systems within large buildings.
Okay, we're back in the shop now, and today we're cutting tendons. And here are the tendon drawings. They are original International Harvester drawings, copies of those original drawings. And okay, so we're going to mark these out. There's two different types of these cross pieces. One has some holes in it, one doesn't. The one with holes, I believe, is for the gas tank mount. I'll have to double check that. But these tendons are 1 3/8 long, and they're offset by 3/4 inch on one side and 1 3/4 on the other side. So we're going to take our knife, mark on our painted surface here, and start cutting. That's the 3/4 side. Now for the 1 3/4 side. Now for the depths of 1 3/8. Okay, there are the dimensions, and as you can see, pretty good definition on that painted surface there. Now we start cutting. And I like to use a little block of wood as a guide for cutting cuts. Using this Japanese pull saw, actually works really nice on this oak. There's that cut. There's the second cut. And I do not have a way to clamp that, so I'm just going to use some hot glue to hold it in place. while that glue sets up, we'll look at some stuff here on the bench. First is this 8-horse Mogul cylinder. This is a stationary Mogul that I have. It doesn't have a water hopper, and it's got a problem. It's got a piston that's stuck in it, so I've got it in the shop here to work on getting that piston out. Next is this connecting rod. This is actually the connecting rod for the engine that is going to go on the skid. It's kind of hard to see it there, but that's what that is. This is the piston that is out of the engine that's going to go on the skid. There is a can there, my lunchbox, to show some size perspective. It's about 10.5 inches long and 6-inch diameter, and it's only half. And that's because I cut it in half, because I've got to make a piston for this engine, because this one is damaged beyond being usable safely. So that's going to be in another video. This 8-horse Mogul, I measured the crank. It's about an 11-inch stroke and a 6-inch bore, which comes out to about 311 cubic inch in the cylinder. Let's see if the glue's dry yet. Okay, glue's set up, so we're going to make this another cut here. Here's the first cut. Needs just cleaned up in the corner a little bit. Should look pretty nice when it's done. Clean this glue off. This stuff's great stuff. And we'll set up again for the last cut. And while that glue sets up, we'll look at something else. This is a connecting rod for a 12-horse patent engine that I have. It's 42 inches long, and it has a 2-inch wrist pin. So not the biggest engine around, but pretty darn big. Okay, making the last cut. And there it is. First mortise, now only 7 more to go. Quick dimension check. Looks good. That's the end of the second video for the 8-horse Mogul restoration, and we've got the tendons and mortises cut for the skid, and the tendons took about 6 hours, so I got about 14 hours in this project so far, and I think they turned out pretty nice. I like the pull saw here for cutting into this oak. It worked really nice, made a nice cut. And one interesting fact about these Moguls, these side shaft Moguls, is there's over 50 parts just in the muffler. There's a series of spacers and baffles in there, so pretty complex. And Ike here says to like and subscribe and leave a comment about the video, please. And we'll see you in the next video.